Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff comfort me. You prepare a table for me under the eye of my enemy.
Eyes!
Under the eye. With your rods, you push through to the table of my enemy. I put it in the eye.
In the brown eye!
The patient, after quarreling with the children and old women in the neighborhood, started talking gibberish. The following day he still attended the catechetical meeting. Blabbered, speaking highly of himself and accusing others of lunacy. Mostly talked about the gossip that was the cause of the quarrel with the old women in the neighborhood.
So, fanciful traits, pale complexion, prone to reverie.
24.
Most likely also suffered from unrequited love.
His mother once went insane for 6 weeks after a scared chew.
Due to the quality of his impairment, he will be taken into the asylum for the weak of mind. The parish will pay for his mental treatment in the Pitkäniemi Asylum for Life. Let us begin the treatment.
Mother, 5-y, 6-y, weaky, insane?
Gustav, go ahead and take the patient to room 7.
7? Really? My name is Gustav Herman. Do not worry. You're snug as a bird. Here in Pitkäniemi, our treatments are blessed by the Lord. But see, some of the nurses especially, they are godless. But you are surely lucky to get me as your guide. See, I know all the mental treatments here in Pitkäniemi. I will enlighten you. I'm studying to be a psychosurgeon. I'm also a linguist, but one can't make a living on that, you know. Grammar doesn't sell. What's wrong with you? You're very quiet, you know. You don't like talking? Or did the cat get your tongue? Open your mouth. Open up. Tongue is in its place. You just don't want to speak, is that it? Is there too much talking already in the world, huh? Or do you think people babble too much? Would you like to try isolation? A few weeks alone in the dark silence would surely not do you any harm. now we will witness the latest form of mental treatment. Insulin shock treatment is a groundbreaking technique. First, one has to know the correct amount of insulin.
Patient
With that,
will
one
be
renders the patient
awakened.
unconscious nearly every day, and at the end of each day, one gives them sugar up the nose using a hose. That will wake them up, you see. And this will be repeated again and again, as many as 50 times. And in a couple of months, you're done. Patients, once morose, let down by themselves, veritably awakened from their ailment, they can become ever so happy and bubbly. Many of them completely forget their folly like a nightmare that has passed. They are interested in each other and their own future. They write to their home and they seek work and employment. They even joke with each other. Would you like to try? You, being such a quiet thing? Perhaps you are a god-forsaken melancholic?
Gustav, put the hose away. Get out.
We can't do this now with sugar being rationed and everything. How would we wake you up then? I'd know how to do it, though. I have ways. We're going. Those eye-pricking perjurers. They say I do nothing right. They keep complaining about me. These nurses here, I tell you, they're all just uneducated farmhands. The only required qualification is strong arms. The latest in technology. You will want to see this. The electric shock treatment was developed by a doctor in Rome, Ugo Cerletti. First, he gave dogs electric shocks using electrodes attached to their mouth and anus. Thus, he caused trembling fits for the dogs, due to which they died. After that, Cerletti intrepidly moved on to pigs, and discovered that when led through the head, the voltage, even relatively high, was safe. If one then attached the electrode to the body, the current travelled through the heart and caused death. Already the day following this discovery, Cerletti's clinic administered the first electric shock treatment. An unknown man in his 40s was selected as the subject. He had arrived to Rome from Milan without a ticket. He was found at the railway station, wandering aimlessly and mumbling incoherent and ungodly nonsense. Therefore, it was decided he was schizophrenic. The electric shock device used previously to shock dogs was brought in the treatment room. A college of doctors observed the operation in concerned silence. 2 electrodes on a rubber band that was wet with saline solution were placed on both temples of the patient, thus. And then a 0.2 second shock with a current of 70 volts was administered. The patient jerked violently on the bed but did not lose consciousness. Instead, he started loudly singing socialistic workers' songs. It seemed apparent that the current had been too low. The doctors started negotiating intensely, but in a low voice. Some of them were of the opinion that the experiment was dangerous and had to be aborted. Others stated that another, more powerful shock was in order. When the patient came to and realized what was happening, he clearly and calmly uttered, "No, not another one. It's terrible." At which point, Chief Physician Dr. Cerletti, like the true patriotic fascist he was, took the reins and gave another half a second shock at the higher current of 110 volts. Not to worry. I went to the seminary. patient has been anesthetized using a couple of electric shocks. He's sleepy and calm.
Spike.
The whole operation is done using an ice pick-like instrument, which the nurse now hands to the doctor. The aim is to drive the spike inside the tear sac, which in itself is sterile.
Hammer.
And here comes the hammer, which, just like the spike, is intended for lobotomy use only. We have passed the time when one first had to drill holes on either side of the head for probe measurement. It was very difficult and dangerous to make a cut with a lobotomy knife at the temple, and so he pushes the spike between the tear sac and eye socket. Now, a firm knock. There you go. In no time, the cartilages crack and the spike enters the frontal lobe. The doctor twists the spike and evaluates. The aim is to break the white matter of the brain in a fan shape by turning the handle of the spike to and fro. Look at the confidence in those moves. Look at that style. The whole operation is done without visual connection, only by feeling. There, remove the spike and the operation is done. Well, now.
Beautiful bosom. Clean these away, and then set the table for Gustav's sterilization.
It is not right to remove letters from the body of a word, just as it is not right to cut off members of a human body. Where are my notes? All stolen, just as my wealth. I was psychosurgeon Gustav Willehard. Under the European Finnish corrupt governments and as well as the Pitkäniemi asylum, especially the torturous and carnivorous tyranny in terror and chivalry, I again refuse to oblige. Speak.